Nityanandam, welcome all and everyone to who are listening in and watching this video. I wanted to share something today about what Swamiji has spoken about multiple times, the science of completion. Now, really, when we look at ourselves, the memories, thoughts that we have ourselves that are still staying in us from the past and impacting our future, those emotions that are still there, really are the incompletions. Now, we of course need to do the completion within ourselves, and a big part of completion is to do completion with others, because at the end of the day many of our emotions, past incidents, etc., are related to other people's in our lives, especially the near and dear ones. Now, one of the most powerful completion process I had was related to my dad. Now, he had cancer. He had cancer for a while, lung cancer, and when we found out about it, it was pretty advanced already. I was in Singapore at that time, and basically, once we, you know, found out about it, supported it to the best extent we can, echoed, etc. It had reached a point where he wouldn't talk much on the phone, etc., and he was really deteriorating. I attended a program called In Relationships, in which Swamiji shared about this whole science of completion, especially completing with others and our close relatives, but the Adi Bandhas, which are our the most primary relationships with our parents. And as part of that, we had to do completion with the parents as well. So, you know, I was going back and thinking through incidents that happened with him. There was a strong one related to how once, my mother and I had gone to buy shoes, and the only shoes I could find that I liked, were pretty expensive at that time. We were from a very average middle class family and couldn't afford it. So it was pretty expensive for us to be able to buy those shoes. But, we went back and forth and finally bought them. And then we came home, my father was quite upset, with the amount of money we had spent, and he really gave a hard time to my mom. And that had stayed on to a large extent in my inner space as well, related to money and what I thought about it. So the incident came up, and I knew I had to talk to him about it, and I wasn't sure quite how. Plus the fact that he had been ill and not talking on the phone, I was like, okay, let me pick up the phone and call him and let's see how it goes. I pick up the phone and I call him, and he surprisingly picks up the phone within the first few seconds itself. And we actually had a 15-minute conversation on that. I walked him through the incident, basically helped him realize that, hey, how I took it, of feeling that poverty stricken, or feeling that we can't afford things, and a lot of how it impacted my relationship with money. Walked him through it, and he said, he didn't even remember the incident firstly, which was interesting, which is such a deep one in my inner space. And secondly, he basically did the completion also, saying, look, whatever he may have thought of it, etc., he wanted me to go beyond that and really live life free of that. And it was an amazing conversation, and really the last meaningful conversation I had with him before he left the body. And it brought such a sense of completion. I don't know how to describe it. It was like, so much of pressure and how I thought about him. He always used to feel that, that he had not done enough in life. And I realized that I was holding on to some of that through these various incidents as well. And being able to move beyond that, I think, really helped each of us complete with that sort of thought pattern, and really live very differently, move on beyond some things that you would have been stuck with and maybe you would have carried on to the next life as well. So, a very, very powerful process of completion. It happens in a very deep and a very powerful way during the Inner Awakening program. This 23-day retreat coming up. There's one starting tomorrow, July 25th, and welcome all of you to come join in and be part of it, so that you can all experience this. We all deserve to live life in a complete way, without any of these random thoughts, etc., emotions that are just holding us back and preventing us from living life fully. So if you have any questions, want to understand this more, how the science works, feel free to ping me and take it from there. So thank you for your listening, and look forward to hearing back from you. Nityanandam.